this, right? He said that he's going to be different. He said that something is going to shift. That's what I would do. That's how I would manipulate my wife. That's how I would show up to make sure that she would stay just a little bit longer. You see, all I was concerned about was hiding from my own guilt and shame, hiding from what I'd actually done, hiding from the person that I was, the void that was inside of me. So as a result, when she would get ready to leave, I would say, no, I'm going to change. I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to sign up for this. I'm not going to do this again. I'll tell the truth. I won't cheat again. I would say everything that I could want to say in those moments to try to make sure that she would stay. Then inside of wanting her to stay, there was a piece of me that didn't want her to stay because I wanted her. I wanted her to stay because I wanted my image to be okay. I didn't want to look like the bad guy. I didn't want to look like the abusive asshole that I actually was. Instead, I wanted to look to the outside world like I had it all together, like I had a good marriage, like I had everything right, that I was the good person. That's what the guy in your life is doing. He's trying to make sure that you stay in a relationship with him simply by saying he's changing. And I pulled out all the stops. I went into therapy. I went to a sex addiction intensive. I went to different pieces to start to shift and change who I was. But the problem was my heart wasn't in it. I was following through the motions. Trying to figure out what's the next step, what's the next thing that I'm going to do to be able to make sure that she stays. And inside all this, it wasn't because I was trying to change for myself. There was no transformation that was happening because I wasn't being truthful and honest with who I was. I was just trying to keep my image, to look okay to other people, to make people think that I was still a good guy. Change inside of all of this, I was changing, I was shifting, I was doing different things, but it wasn't true transformation because it wasn't happening in the heart and it wasn't happening for me. It was happening for her and to keep my image. The guy in your life, you're wondering, is he changing? He just thinks that you're stupid for staying. Simply because he sees that he keeps manipulating over and over and you keep staying. You might have already heard him allude to this, of being like, well, if I'm so abusive, why don't you leave? If you're so unhappy, why don't you leave? But he's already laid the foundation and the pre-work to make sure that you actually stay in a relationship because he's already built your entire world around him. Your self-esteem, your validation, all different pieces are tied back to him. So you walking out and you leaving, that feels almost impossible. I was doing the same exact thing in my world, and the guy in your life is doing the same exact thing to you. He just thinks you're naive. He thinks that you're stupid. He thinks that the boundaries that you set don't really matter to you because you don't enforce them, you don't hold them, and instead you've let yourself go, and the lack of self-respect that you have for you has disappeared completely. Because he knows and he sees that every time he wants to push on a boundary, you will break, you will fold, you won't actually follow through. Because he's trained you. He's gotten you used to this so that you stay. You might think it sometimes that you're at a place that you're going to make him change, that you're going to fix him, that you're going to love him enough and he's magically going to change. Guess what? No, because he doesn't actually care about you. He doesn't care about you. It's not that he's actively sitting there hating you. What it is he doesn't care about you because you are smaller than him in his mind. He cares about himself, his image, how he's showing up. And inside of this, you need to see and understand the narcissist in your life, he's going to continue to do this over and over and over again, pretending that he's going to change. Trying to think and show that he has this change. But in reality, there's no truth, there's no transformation. Consider for a moment the guy that's in your life, he's faking change. He's pretending to change, and you're wondering, is he changing? Is he not changing? The thing you need to understand is you can't change him. And if you think he's changing, then you have to look for a long period of time. You have to focus on your healing so you can actually see the clarity of the situation. Because many people will stay thinking that they're going to change. My wife stayed for a good while thinking that I was going to change because I would tell her that. And here's the thing you need to understand. I was already in EMDR therapy for 6 months. I was in regular talk therapy for 5 months. I'd gone to a sex addiction intensive. And then my wife left. There wasn't this reality that my wife left and I had this magical moment, an epiphany of like, oh, maybe I should change. No, I was already going through all the motions. There's pieces that were connecting, but in all reality, nothing was shifting internally, which is why she left. Many of you are waiting for him to change. And as a result, you're the one that loses out on your healing. because you don't grow, you don't develop, you stay in the same exact place, hoping, praying, wishing for a miracle to happen while nothing happens, and you ignore the facts of your current situation. That he's been abusive, that he's been a liar, that he's been a manipulator, that he's been a cheater, and it's not changing. It's the same thing over and over and over again. And you know how I know this? Because manipulation happens when the narcissist apologizes, but there's no change behavior. That's just manipulation. Over and over and over, the same thing. You're like, well, maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't understand that he's hurting me. How many times have you told him? How many times have you said something? How many times have you indicated, hey, that is unkind. Hey, that hurts. And he doesn't care because he keeps doing it over and over and over again. So inside of this, I want you to consider the guy in your life, he might try to convince you that he's changing. Ultimately, the only person that can shift and change in your world is you. Your ability to actually see and understand that you have the ability to heal, to grow, to develop, to get out of the crazy making, to get out of the fog, the fear, the obligation, the guilt, all the things that have you currently trapped. But you have to make a choice to stop looking at him to change. Stop being a victim to his transformation and develop your own. Which means you don't just sit here just watching content, you actually take action for you. Making a move, making a choice for you to develop into you. To be the person that you're actually called to be. To grow and develop instead of just being used and abused on this planet. If you're at the place where you're ready to move forward in the healing process, no longer just sitting on the sidelines waiting for him to change, but you being the author of your own transformation in your life, reach out. Go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. It's an opportunity for you to fill out a quick form, watch a quick video, and schedule a free call. For us to sit down and actually work through the process of building a plan long-lasting for you. A healing process, a growth mindset. To help you actually rise up in your confidence, to learn how to say no and have healthy boundaries, to know who you are, know your purpose, to eradicate the triggers, to be able to process those and get rid of them, to stand up in your power versus in the shadow of him. If you're a woman that's trapped in a toxic relationship or you're outside of the relationship and you're still struggling on how to heal, this message is for you. Go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. An opportunity to see and understand what I do and how we can actually help you be free. Maybe not right now from him, but mentally and emotionally, things need to shift if you're ever going to have any type of freedom in your life at all. If this connects with you, then go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. Would love to help you move forward in the healing process today. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day.